So first of all, I noticed that although it looks like once I start rolling, the three options are all still there. I have hashtag chat in the title. I don't know if that's why, but for some reason, in the setup menus, where it usually says show live chat, there's two options. I can't remember how they differ, but there's usually two options, and I only saw one. I don't know what that's about. Also, YouTube showed me something just as I was starting, and I thought that um, I don't want to forget it, so I'll state it for those who watch afterwards, because yeah, nobody's here yet. But something about um, I just heard it. Do something about forget about letting go, focus on the outcome. Curious your thoughts on that. I don't normally do this downstairs. Not only and I almost want to. Well, I'm in the process of playing it. I almost want to continue playing it, but I don't know if I should in this channel, even though the one I commented on wasn't the other one. But I don't know if it would be okay to. I've done that before, though it doesn't really seem to get out different types of results if I have a snippet of somebody else's content. I try not to, but it happens sometimes. Good boy, Sonny. But yeah, so I do feel like even though I'm talking, I want a little bit of music on. Often AM is not music based, but we don't get as many AM stations. But I was trying to do that. But I mean, the dog's being good, but I'm going to have some moments where I'm not necessarily saying things, and I want to be able to. I want to be able to. I don't want my tinnitus or whatever to distract, and that. So I know what the radio on is not necessarily. Well, like I say, it's for one reason. There we go. It's lagging a bit, but tinnitus is one reason, and for the quiet points in this. And even when I was talking, I don't know, it was lagging so much there, but he didn't say anything about the cardboard and what it says, which was actually kind of showing. It's actually higher than I thought it was, but it looks cool. And then there's another symbol that I guess I could make out enough with the stickers on it, but and he saw that he's like, oh, I think this is compared to. I don't know what the third one is, but this one, right? Ooh. Oh, he's being so good. Sometimes he gets worked up and wants to bark or whatever and at me as we're doing this, or sometimes when we're eating. So I have a couple hours. I'll do this for maybe an hour. Then I'll have, before kind of my routine kicks in, I'll have, oh, it looks like I spoke too soon. Maybe he looks like he wants to be involved. I haven't had a laptop on like this in a while. We did have it over there recently. And actually, I'm kind of curious to know just kind of what it will look like here. Yeah, and we'll have moved that stuff or whatever. And I think that this could work. I'll give him something. You know what? He's been mostly good today and a great comfort for the things that are going on. I don't know why he does that. I knew it wasn't going to last and he'd be good. I can't find them. I think I moved them. Oh no. Those aren't big enough. Okay, these will do. Fuck. Yeah, I want to give you those. Those they might take longer with, although I think of everything you go. But I don't know why he moved these. No, I don't even see them. I was gonna have to do that. That takes a lot of time. Um, huh. I have to ask them about that. Because they were, I think, 2 packs on the thing. I almost think maybe I brought one over here, but I don't see it. Uh, so, yeah, those are stupid and noisy. Okay, so I don't know if that's that. Now I have two different ones here because one of them's a little colder than the other. And let's just say that. Oh, goodness gracious me! Figured I'd try a different filming location. I just have to watch because it doesn't keep the charge as well. Um, that's actually perfectly positioned. Um, oh, that reminds me. There is one other thing. That I'm gonna move it. No, but like the way the screen is very up and not angled. Something kind of confusing on a social media site. Somebody that uh, very interesting. The day that sister is getting a tumor removed, cancerous tumor, we get a friend request from somebody who's been connected to him at least since 2015. That's where the top messages, and there wasn't that many, so it was easy to find this. Basically, saying something about you shouldn't have let the comment. Now you have to pick from one of these below and post it as your status. This is 2015 breast cancer awareness game. Blah blah blah. And then it says the chain stops here, no matter how worthy the cause. Sorry, she says she doesn't usually do chains either. What's that? A photo choose art resources. Happy birthday. Sent a friend request. She's short forming her name, but what is with the name Elizabeth lately? Like I was thinking about an Elizabeth M, and then an Elizabeth M that I hadn't heard from in ages reacted to a post, and then there was somebody who reminded me of Elizabeth, and then I think there was even one more, and now there's this one, and the Lizzie combination too, especially with the thing with Bride today. But anyway, she's asking. That she says that she is a particular person's friend. Have you been trying to get in touch with her? So, um, and she posted April 19th, so not that long ago, but I know anything can happen. I don't understand. Um, so maybe we'll see if Nikki has anything to say. Um, oh, really? Michael? Luann, maybe. What's weird though is, like I say, this person requested and I'm already in the list. But it seems like this might be another account. Yeah, I recognize her from Bethany. What's strange is that Marilyn, who's a mutual, funny after just seen this video, then there's Marilyn Million, is not showing as a mutual to her under this account. Well, yeah, but this account goes back as far as. Sorry, I just got distracted by this just before I started. But wow, this does really not hold its charge very well. 44 remaining, and it was fully charged. But depending on how this does, I can always go get the charger. I don't know how he's gonna be when he's done with the thing, but this page goes back as far as 2021. So all I can surmise from that, in a vague sort of way, is that maybe something happened between the two of them, and she's trying to reach out to them, and so she's not a mutual to them, and maybe she accidentally deleted that. But anywho, we do have somebody here though. Can you do me a favor? I know it's just the way I've been feeling today. Okay, you left, whatever. Um, I know it wouldn't look good necessarily to say forget. Well, it was kind of just random in some ways, but I feel like okay. Well, I'll wait until somebody else is here. I've been on two. I mean, the doctor's call I won't count, so I've been on two other calls. But I've watched tons of videos later. So we have someone here, and I've just had a very kind of a lot to process today, and sorry, that's just lotion. A lot to process today, and symptom-wise, the things I've been experiencing have not been too bad. Um, and the person left right after a lot to process today as if they're like, "So have I. Sayonara. I don't need more." One thing that makes me kind of stay motivated to doing this is actually kind of laughing that off because it is annoying when it happens, but it happens. I am going to get the charger though. Just remind me of that meditation thing, which is my feelings with the thing. And the next one will be no, not that soon, but I mean, maybe not be local, but we can still try and do it, or we may not be in the area. I'm curious to play this and see if the sound follows me, but probably not. I mean, I practically there, and then worked on up, and then I'm peeking still right there. I feel slightly redundant, and then it's just more to catch up on. But I definitely did say some things, and some of the ones today that I definitely want to reference back myself. And I don't know, maybe that'd be beneficial to you as well. Hmm. I could watch this on. What's the channel? Too bad this isn't the one where that person was talking about vibrations and frequencies. That's kind of cool. This is over my knee, but you can't see the thing. And it isn't raining, so I need to email. I can't tell if this station, which I believe is still AM, is playing music or not. I'm going to spark people's curiosity. Mind, there's always opportunity for that. I'm going to put this here, and if people can tell what it is and want to ask about it, then I have a question. Try not to get the brand name to show. I don't think it's a huge problem, but it's promotion. I mean, mine they're already very well known about, and I don't think that. But some movies have to be careful sometimes, and oh no, I don't get it. Same with music in a lot of ways. I don't know if it's worth mentioning. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna kind of introduce a little bit more about myself, but some people may already think it, and even if they don't, I do and don't feel like it needs to be spoken about right now. On this particular device, I wonder, can I move this to its own window? I don't have the other screen here right now, but it looks like I can. I mean, yeah, some people just aren't as quick. You know, there are various reasons why someone might quickly go to social media when somebody passes away, and um, well, I mean, I happened it happened to be it happened to show. It, it came looking for something or whatever, and it happened to show. Um, what town does she live in? I don't know, but I know I just looked at this. That's 2023. I almost thought, oh, but I don't know. Person that messaged may be thinking that that's accurate. I don't know. It still shows all the other windows, but just these two actively. Well, yeah, I guess it's the same. It operates the same way. It's just you can put it on the bigger screen. Right. I don't often have them disconnected. It's kind of nice. It works a bit like a heating pad too on my legs. I know you got to be careful, but um, I'm very tempted while no one's here. I don't really think it would be a problem to, and it's not like it's a topic I don't put on here. Not finished. He was looking at me. How could I don't know. I don't know if that was sketchy to reply back to or not. I mean, because there was a chat history and it wasn't a super new page. For now, it doesn't even say how recently active, but that came in about. Well, I had sent a request through. I don't know if I was unblocked. I think you'd probably say because they've been pretty busy today. See it when you get home, but 12:40. It's 2:08 basically. So I got all excited when I saw that yellow highlight and looked like a comment, but that's my. Does this intrigue people? It seems like since this year, mostly they have. I thought there was another marker mark on it, but it's kind of cool if you have a thumb there too. You would let me to a little bit. It's kind of cool. Ooh. I just had a weird. Ironically, I just had a wonder that I can't believe I've never wondered before. A wonder that I've never wondered before, which is, and I guess I kind of want to ask it while I'm thinking about it, and if anybody sees this afterwards, since nobody's here at the moment, then they can answer it. But with something like that, I'm trying to think of other examples. For some reason, I want to say a seashell, but that might not be with a seashell. And you're hearing the waves. I remember actually, I think I have had the realization where it's kind of like, well, don't you kind of hear them anyway because you're near them, like duh, people. But I don't know. I should Google, kind of look into that concept maybe, and I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But the same with this. I'm wondering when you're doing that, moving it like that, and you're hearing like the whatever kind of sound. I'm wondering if that might have something to do, and I'm not as much the expert with these, if that might have something to do with the fact that you're moving it closer and further from your ear. He'll sometimes be in a room and playing music, and he'll say, "Well, you're sitting right in front of the device, so it would be louder for you," even though he's in the same not huge room. And you'd think, well, but it should be just as loud for you. I mean, it's all in the same room. But yeah, maybe not. Actually, recently, unintentionally came in contact. Not that this is anything wrong, and I don't know if I don't have captions set. I don't know if that's something that you could. I think if you unless I've never seen an option of not including captions, but I've never really noticed either. But I do have it set though. I think because I'm not. I think I've been curious to see how it picks up. Not that I'm speaking oddly or whatever, but how sometimes it has funny typos, or although if you're trying to get an accurate idea of a video, it's not necessarily as funny if they're inaccurate. But uh, but I think for whatever reason, I think one of them didn't have very good volume. I happened to look back at, or whatever, without the speaker, so I had the caption on. Um, well, recently came in contact with good little boy, Hasten. I almost want to show our dog, but he's just out of view on the screen, and it's a laptop, and I don't want to have to move it. I think I have it positioned pretty good, except for the fact that you can see my knee, which hopefully isn't distracting. You might be asking, where's my other one? Under this one. But yeah. Some people may say that he just like to hear your voice. Well, a lot of people that post YouTube probably do. But I also like to hear your comments. Not that anybody's watching at the moment, so. And then my voice will read them. But yeah, so I wonder if that has anything to do with anything. They call this the Alm bowl, actually, which probably a lot of them could be, but it's actually a lower end one, lower end of the price range. Like it's for whatever reason. But then, if I'm understanding that correctly, it says 600 on the bottom and 160, 140 inside. But there's a couple marks on it. I can't remember what you said about that, but I'm fine with it. I'm also going to keep this here for intrigue to bring people in. Really has some neat marks on it, you see, and couple like I guess it's not rust, but like I asked him recently, he didn't even know there's one upstairs that's very green inside, more than many of them. I just noticed that now, but no, there's a little spot there. And it looks like a second one starting, and you can actually feel a bit of texture with it too. I don't think it's mold. They've been kept in that condition. It's certainly not the ones that were downstairs, but it's got some interesting marks. I'm so glad that he let me have them there. So somewhat what that makes me think of, especially this particular one, is not to sound weird or whatever, but did anybody ever have six bowls growing up? Sometimes you eat smoky paraphernalia in one. I don't know why I use that bowl though, and sometimes I forget this on the desk. Usually I move it out of my way, but so like those metal bowls, and that you use for barbecue, and for some reason they had that kind of sound to them, right? This one's really nice too because although I thought I was noticing a difference when I put my thumb on the side, it's not much of one. Not much of one. So I don't know what's going on with Marilyn, and I hope Kathleen's okay. We're going to be okay. Because she is pretty young, although she's dealing with a lot of health problems. So it's, you know, it's a hard road for her, and that doesn't seem very fair. But then again, it is for a lot of people for various reasons. But once you get older and you start having even more health problems, it's kind of like I don't know what to think. I'll plug these in later. 43 and 68. Okay. I could be plugging it in now, to be honest. I don't know. Like I said, this is kind of lackluster, but I did have some interaction. They decided to reach my phone. One of them, I thought there was going to be a bit of a wait to for them, so I started a podcast and didn't know if I'd end up speaking to them today or not. And then there wasn't much of a wait, and I did. And I went into the other room, but I somewhat didn't mind keeping it rolling, and it was all good and everything. But and yeah, I kept it rolling. So here you have it. Hair looks a bit like Elvis right now, eh? Oh, the loveliness of sunny, eh? Yeah, and you're getting some sunshine too. Part of me feels actually really calm and still. I think after two phone calls, so what is it? Well, a short one with the doctor, and just other things I've kind of processed, or postings or whatever I've seen or whatever. And I think before the phone calls, I did one too. So, um, just a moment. I had this kind of in view so that I could see it when it comes in. Oh, I should ask your next viewer about this too. Wouldn't that be ironic? Um, Even though she did do some kind of dark stuff. Whoa, sorry, my hair wild there with my hat off. It didn't look so wild from further away. Just trying to get to the bottom of something here. To actually have it in view where I can see if a new message comes in or if a new viewer comes in. But this person is actively messaging and nobody's actively viewing, and maybe she doesn't deserve to watch this because she doesn't know what a WT live means. I know she's older, but still, and she is online. And she is saying, "What is that?" And part of me appreciates that. Why is this all black? Okay. Part of me appreciates that she's curious and would like to know, but she should know. It's one of those things she should kind of know already. And if she doesn't, then she doesn't deserve to watch it. Because are you able to tune into a WT live? Should make sense. Sure, WT could stand for many things, but this would be, if she hasn't said, do you mean YouTube? So, I don't know, do I? I'm not so sure anymore. Just kidding. Sometimes. I'm reminding myself of a bit of. I know he's very free spirited and doesn't seem to have a whole lot. Well, I don't know his life, but there's a guy that I follow that reminds me a bit of myself, like a little bit. I don't know if he just maybe thinks that people won't watch longer ones, but he has a few that are. But and it's kind of been varying lately. But I do like I should have watched that other one. But even if I hadn't, then wanted to talk about it, nobody's been here. So I mean, cat could have been, but he was cat. The cat came back. That's good. Um, um, people that, and I know, one thing comes to mind, but there's reason for that. There's no reason in this day and age why someone shouldn't understand the sentence. Are you able to tune into a WT live, or at least have a guess, and get it right? And yeah, she's in her close to 70s, but still, she is on Facebook. She probably uses YouTube a bit. It's an interesting way of talking to. Could have been very interesting to have her here. And it might beat the loneliness, but I also know what you think. What you don't know what you think about it being a shared channel. And she might say, "Where is he?" Oh, at work. Oh, I've been messaging him, right? It's like nobody knows that. But and I was really confused when I saw that thing pop in. He doesn't have time to look at it, really. Although he might be close to being on his lunch break sometime. Oh, I'm just gonna do, or sometime soon rather. Um, have any of you been having issues with Messenger Curiosity where it kind of brings like the old chats to the top? Yeah. I mean, again, I really do appreciate if someone doesn't understand something, they're asking, but it's stupidness. So that part I don't understand. Part of me wants to do some music, but only if people will be here enjoying it. Nobody's here right now, and I don't know if I have that kind of energy. Just noticing my gray spot. It reverses. It looks like a bald spot. That's just the way my hair is doing, and yeah, it reverses. Right. Yeah, there we are. Reverses the camera for some reason. I don't know. Does anybody know why cameras do that? Some of the things I'd like to learn about. Mostly video, and I'm thinking it has to do with an infrared something. Captive image is a flipped version of reality. This is due to the way the light rays are reflected and captured by the lens and sensor, essentially. And the thing about shells, when you it's not actually the sound of the ocean, but rather the resonance of background noise amplified. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Okay, so I've solved those two mysteries. Um, don't know why that's there. So weird that I can't tag, but then people might just do that like crazy. But you can't take someone in. I don't know how to bring on camera on this, but we could do it in person. Like I said, she's into the city fairly often. Might be able to do it online sooner, but not this week. I don't think anytime. So welcome. So I don't entirely remember what the title was that I created because it's just been a bit of a flustered day and the viewer left. But I know it was really essentially random. So here's your random. I ran dumb and I walk smart. I don't know what my facial expressions or my reading eyes may do if I'm doing other things. Oh, that's funny. I was just looking at that shelf. It's more organized there. It actually turned out to get nicer out today. But I am starting to run a bit low on money. I didn't have any need to do anything. I am feeling a little iffy. I kind of don't really want to be out and about amongst the world today that much. And just how I'm feeling. The mixed. And almost would want to go for a bike ride, but school's just letting out. And unless it's spring break, but I don't think so yet. I mean, I just got back from Easter. And no, I've seen a lot of activity near the school nearby. I can kind of see it from our place. But so, um, chapstick. But, and I'm having issues with the bike at the moment. So, uh, so how's everybody's day going? We have two people almost came in at the same time, it looked like. And yeah, how's your day going? Um, I'm hoping that this isn't distracting. I'm realizing I'm not actually even using it at the moment, and I'd rather have it behind me. I think, well, it was behind me, but that's better than yeah, like yeah, but we got a view up your nose. No, just kidding. I don't know. You both left, so um, it's not that it isn't annoying, but it kind of helps to diffuse it, to kind of laugh it off or whatever when that happens. But I'd rather know why it's happening. But it's not like it's showing me names at the top, and that most people should realize that, whether you podcast or not. And it's not like it's showing me names at the top, and I say, "Oh, you're someone who's done this before. Why do you do it?" You know, um, I can guess it might be, but the YouTube world is a big world, just like the world in general. I bet you the majority of the world's population. What was the thing? Glenn and I were saying something about that the other day. What was it? Oh, it's gonna bug me now. Where's the other phone? Oh, speaking of, even though I just got comfy, I was just using the other phone. It shouldn't really be far away. Um, but yeah, I bet you. Here it is. I don't think this is the one that's stuck in the blanket. It's crazy. It's I know a couple times today, but the blanket um he might be on his break now. I'm thinking the blanket. Yeah, one of the phones for the house was wrapped around the blanket in such a way where I couldn't get it out. And I thought, oh, there's a story in there, but I don't know how to tell it exactly. But yeah, I bet you, like, I'm gonna like omit most seniors, like elderly, old, you know, and kids and babies. No, the other one's still there. But I still, I mean, whether it's to research something or just to hang out, whatever it is, a lot of people, I don't know, I might use it a little bit more, but a lot of people use YouTube, right? So I mean, but it's kind of annoying me that I can't remember what we were saying the other night, and it was just last night, I think. So I'm gonna bring Glenn into this for a moment. Hi, how's it going? Finally getting your lunch? So, oh, really? You had it early or something, maybe? Okay. Still sounds like it's pretty busy there. Well, I just wanted to ask a quick question because I was trying to remember what was the thing that we were saying last night where we were talking about, like, oh, I bet you this amount of the population does this. What was that about? Okay, yeah, no worries. Let me know later. Okay, I'll let you go. Okay, so he's pretty busy at work. He couldn't remember. He said he'd try to remember later. However, who do we got here? Because, well, that was kind of weird. The light came in possibly before it said there was a view, and then it said there was a view and I was on the phone. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but for about 2 or 3 minutes, and or no, 2 minutes, probably 1 or 2 minutes, and which is not a long time. And then the view went. That's that could be many things. By the way, it could be liking to show support to fellow YouTubers, whether they post them themselves or not, uh, or because they see something they like maybe they do like the new environment, and it's really not that much of a hassle. I can tell that the volume works without being connected to the speaker. There was only three things connected to that side. This is actually, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's bad to take it out, but he has in there on the shared device. It's like a USB end or some sort. But and one of the things was just the charger, so it's easy enough to bring it down here. And I think I would always bring the charger in instead of saying adapter, because it just does not. It's an old device. It is an old device, you know. And honestly, I hope nothing happens with it. But if it did, it could just as easily happen for either of us. Um, what I am noticing, okay, there we no. What I am noticing, and I'm not too sure why, is just the certain spots I'm looking on the screen or whatever. So much briefly there, that sometimes my gaze is looking a little funny. I don't usually find that I have to look there. No, I usually look at the screen. What if I make it full size? Is it because I'm looking to the corner? I don't know. No, maybe it's normal. But yeah, so it could be something. Obviously, with such a short amount of time, probably not something said, but it could be something seen. Like I don't think I'm not we're seeing. But or hearing. So come here, come here. Share screen. What a weird. But that's not a bring on screen. I am curious. I know that sometimes it depends on the device you look at, and it was about that. But another example, I feel, of something where it's kind of like I said, oh yeah, it depends on device. Overlay for breaks. And I know I don't have the fanciest, maybe I'll learn it soon, but I don't have the fanciest, like um, fonts and effects and this and that. Um, Sometimes, I don't really think that you need them, and they can distract from things. And because I don't have all that knowledge yet, it's like, how do you do it? And I know I could look it up or whatever. I do have a contact though that might be able to soon show me. Um, Maybe I can see her set up hers, although she might be recording it on Zoom. So that'd be an interview with channeling, but also mental health. I hate to put the two in the same category, especially since some people have schizophrenia, which is different than the channeling, and it's not to make them feel bad. I'd be curious to, but then how could you know for sure, right? I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know about how this is said, but searching online, just because I was, in connecting the two, the two categories, because I think they're both important, and we might not get a lot of opportunity to podcast with each other, me and Michelle. I was thinking about, and I feel slightly mixed, as well as when people do really, really crazy things. They say, "Oh, they're mentally ill," but a lot of people with mental illness wouldn't do those things either. But yeah, they probably are. You know what I mean? But um, um, no, I feel like it can help things. I don't want to get too much into it. I want to save it for the podcast. But basically, it says in schizophrenia, they are typically considered distressing and indicative of a mental disorder. That word M. that M word. It really it creates stigma and stuff. Like it's what it sounds like. It's bad. Okay, but yeah, but so like instead of mental illness, I sometimes think we should say illness of the mind, uh, or mind wellness. Like focus on positives and improvement as well. I mean, sure, lots of mental health industry stuff does, but I think a lot of times it's just simply about numbing it, treating it, numbing it, not looking at root causes, not and sometimes you can't don't end up catching things very quick. It's true, for yourself or a loved one, but you don't know what's going on right away. But no, it says that schizophrenia they are typically considered distressing. Um, Rather mediumship, they may be interpreted as a gift or a form of spiritual communication. Um, Since these experiences are often seen as a symptom of disorder and can be distressing. In medium, the experiences may be seen as okay, yeah. This is an interesting topic I found myself doing here. Oh, hello, KM. You said, what about Easy E, fool? I'm sorry. What's that about? Okay, we have two people here and two likes. I appreciate it. Easy E. I mean, that sounds kind of familiar, but what do you mean I said that? So I was just reading something from that I thought might be worth bringing into the conversation, but and no need to say fool. I mean, before I delve deeper into the topic, I want to see kind of who we got here, what we're kind of dealing with here. There's also the comment that I put just above it. And to the second viewer, yeah, thoughts on the title? Do you have a song request? Do you have a topic request? Um, let's make this a positive experience for all of us. Easy E, isn't that a band? Okay, I'll slow down and let you respond. The disorder condition I was kind of speaking about though, again, it should have a better. It should be called something better, but it's what it's been called for a long, long time, and it's probably not going to change. And out of curiosity, and I think only one of you might still be here, although it does say two viewing, one came before then. I'm just purely curious. First of all, I appreciate that you put the like. I'm curious what it was specifically that you liked, and I'm happy that you liked something here, and I hope you'll like a lot of things. KM, are you still there? And then that thing came below it, which when it was above it. Hmm. I could put that in a new tab later if I don't want to have it in here. Um. uh, Okay. Oh, that's weird. It went down to 0 views, but then it's showing a one again. Um. I could keep going with the topic that I was kind of looking at, and we could talk about that. But I know I've asked, and then it's zero again. I know I've asked y'all, you know, specific questions. So, yeah, but I was going to use it because it means sometimes I don't have that going on. No, he was quite busy from work and had already had his lunch. So, I don't think it was weird to ask appreciative, and it showed that I was appreciated. Yeah, it does seem to be music related. I don't know. You could say, well, they're requesting a song, but then they said, you said what about them? Didn't say anything about the flute part. It's a little bit confusing. Hey, stop while I'm ahead. You never know what kind of craziness we're going to get, but you never know what kind of goodness we might get too. I notice that sometimes, and it's not like it's like, thankfully, um, thankfully, it's not really that commonly like that. I want to see if I can get people listen to this now because it's already got too well rolling. Um, it's not. At least they don't go crazy. But I've noticed that every now and then it feels like sometimes there's like a troll in here, but I don't know if that's the definition of a troll to leave one or two comments and then go away. I don't even ask them to. I mean, I'm not even sure if it is a troll. But if it is, you don't need to be here. This is for engaging, in depth, profound, fun chats, not confusing things that don't make sense. Gonna quickly go upstairs for a moment. I'm also kind of hungry. I'm just gonna grab something from the pantry as well, and I'll be right back. And if there's people here, no, not entirely knowing the audience and not entirely knowing